Hello, my name is Lee Fuller, aka The Funnel Helper, and today I am going to do a little bit of a teaching, alright? This is actually going to be a little longer, so go ahead. If you have to jump on or jump off, I understand, but I want to make sure to get this training out, and hopefully you'll enjoy it, alright? So, while Facebook does its thing, it's going to go ahead and send the information out to people so you can go ahead and jump on. Again, my name is Lee Fuller, aka The Funnel Helper, and I'm super excited about the lesson we're going to talk today. Alright, today we're going to be talking about the 5A money matrix, right? So we're going to talk about the money matrix. Okay? So there's a couple things I want to apologize for in the beginning. Hey, what's going on, Janiqua? I'm doing all right. Chilling. Kind of doing my thing on the internet right quick. So we're going to be talking about the money matrix. And what the money matrix is, I'm going to go through the 5 things that are necessary for you to sell a product or service online. Love you too. To sell a product or service online. So, if you have a business, if you are starting a business, if you're already in business and you're having some difficulty selling something online or selling a service or a product, going through this matrix is going to help you, okay? So there's only 5 parts of it. So we're going to jump into all 5 parts, and as you think through these processes, it's going to help you and you'll be able to do it. So the very first one is you have to have audience identity, right? So rather than me write it out, I guess audience identity. All right. If you come in later, you're probably like, what is that? I have no idea what that says. That says audience identity. And pretty much, if you're going to sell something online, you need to know who it's for, okay? You need to have a specific audience, or you need to identify the audience that you're trying to sell it to. For instance, if you have a coaching service or a lawn care service or a daycare service or whatever, you need to make sure you've correctly identified who that audience is. All right, so you've identified who that audience is. That is going to help you fill out these other ones. So many times we have people that have not identified who the audience is, right? They haven't identified who the audience is, so it's really hard to fill out these other sections. Okay, so number 1, who is the audience? So you want to know who, right? Who am I trying to sell my product or service to? Without knowing your product, who it is, you're going to get very little traction because none of us have the ability or the resources to market to the whole world, right? And in fact, no one markets to the whole world at the same time. Nobody. Coca-Cola, huge budget. They do not market to the whole world at the same time, right? They've identified their who, because in today's market, not everybody's drinking Coca-Cola. It's been a while since I've actually had a Coke or a soda, right? So with this health conscious thing, they have to get really specific on who they're trying to target to. Actually, now that I think about it, I saw Coca-Cola Life, like Coca-Cola Life. It had like a green thing on it. So it looks like they're identifying another target within their market. So they're identifying their who a little differently. So who is your market? My computer just went. Okay, who is your market? The next thing you want to identify about your audience is, hey, what's going on, Sean? I'm talking about the money matrix, the 5 things that need to be in place. So first you identify who your market. Next, you need to know where are they? Where are they? Interestingly enough, sometimes your market is at trade shows. Sometimes they're at conferences, and I know you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes they're at events and etc. So identifying who, where they are and who they are. So that's the first part. That's part number one of our money matrix, part one. Part number two, we have to identify our authority platform. Okay? So, we know who our market is. Cool. Now, if you're going to sell something to someone, you need to have an authority platform. Now, Lee, what exactly is an authority platform? You know what? I'm going to answer that question. An authority platform is pretty much how you will position yourself as an authority, okay? And where you will position yourself as an authority. People like to buy from those they know, like, and trust, but people also like to buy from experts and people that are seen as an authority figure, okay? Why is it that Nike goes after some of these higher, more well-known athletes? Because they're seen as an authority, right? I don't want to wear the sneakers from the guy sitting on the corner, like sitting on the bench that never plays. I want to wear the sneakers from the authority, right? So Nike's identified that they're positioning themselves as an authority platform. You, as a speaker, coach, consultant, etc., what is going to be your authority platform? What platform are you going to use to be an authority? Now, I recommend that your authority platform always consists of two things. One has to be email. One has to be email. Your authority platform has to be email. I'll tell you why. Because everybody on the internet, pretty much everybody on the internet has an email address. Yes or no? Yes. The answer is yes, right? In order to sign up for Facebook, you have to have an email address. Right? In order to, like, the internet is kind of built around email addresses. Okay? So, your authority platform, if you're going to build a platform where you're seen as authority, one, it needs to be through your email. And now, okay, Lee, what should my other one be? Well, that's up to you. That's up to you. I just hit a button on my computer. This is how I know we're live. I just hit a button on my computer and I just turned something. So hold on one second. All right. There we go. The next thing is up to you. So if you are pretty good at video, then your authority platform could be video. Okay? If you are pretty good at writing and blogging, I'm working with one client and she's a really prolific writer. So blogging is something that she really took to. So her authority platform can be blogging. If you are a speaker, then your authority platform can be video or podcasting or radio, right? You have to identify your authority platform. Why? Because if you're going to sell something, you want people to interact with you on your authority platform, whether it's with video, and how does this become your authority platform? By continually communicating through that platform. All right. So email's got to be one. Another authority platform can be video. Me personally, well, some people are social media. Like they are tweeters and Facebookers, etc. Some people are, you got bloggers, you got podcasters, you have on television or whatever. If you ask most people, most famous people, there is a platform that you met them on, right? Oprah, TV, right? Howard Stern, radio. You have Steve Harvey, radio, TV, right? Other people. I lost track. Who's my authority people? Del Toro. Now check it out. I got a buddy of mine, Del Toro McNeil. What's up, Del, if you're watching? His authority platform is the stage, right? So speakers, Brian Tracy, etc. Your authority platform can be the speaking stage and keynoting at events. A buddy of mine, Ty Maynard, spoke on stages, right? You have to have an authority platform. So if you're going to make some money, if you're going to sell something, number one, got to have and identify your audience. So know your audience identity, who they are, where they are. Authority platform. One's got to be email because then you can get to them directly, and the other one is a platform where they come to you. All right. So authority identity, authority platform. The next thing you have to have in your money matrix is an attraction process. So that one actually goes here. Attraction process. Okay? 5 things you need. You got to identify your audience, who they are, where they are. You have to have an authority platform. One needs to be email. The other one is another platform where they can go see you, whether it's on a stage, in a location, whether it's on a video or social media, etc. Creating authority and platform. The third one is the attraction process. Now, what is it that will attract people to you? Now, I have some people, and they will create things that attract people to them, but it doesn't. Hold on a second. But it doesn't actually. Moves them into buying a product. So that's where it gets tricky, right? If you're going to create a attraction process, you want to attract people to something that's going to lead them into your product. Attract something that's going to lead them into your product. Okay, so sometime if you're online, that is a report, right? Sometime that's a video series. All right. What is it that, because you want people, once they purchase this, it's because, so you are able to identify that, hey, they like this, then they'll like my product. Okay. So sometimes I have people, they'll create an audio program that has nothing to do with anything they ever sell. And I'm like, why are you creating this thing? Because you're identifying people that aren't qualified as buyers. That's you're wasting your attraction process. And if you're going to be a part of the money matrix, you got to have audience identity, authority platform, and attraction process, right? Now, here is a key point. Listen carefully to me, okay? You have to have this AP and you have to have this AD. Like, Lee, what are you talking about? Okay, you have to have your activation point. Activation point. All right. A lot of times I work with clients, business owners, etc. Hey, they know who their market is. Absolutely. They have a platform, whether they're emailing, whether they're mailing directly, etc. They have a platform and they found something to attract attention. They have a lead magnet or an attraction process, but they're not really doing well with this activation point. Now, the reason I call it activation point, number one, I was trying to be cool and leave it with the A's, right? Because I was going to call this the 5A money matrix, right? So, activation point. But what is activation point? That's selling. Okay? Like it or love it, your business has to come down to the point in time when you go from they're just an audience member, they're just a prospect, they're just a watcher, to they make a decision to buy. Make a decision, yes or no. That's called your activation point. So those are the things that you have to have in place. And pretty much the process goes like this. You identify your audience, right? Your audience identity. You say, hey, where is my audience? I'm going to create my authority platform where they are. So I'm going to go to that location. I'm going to speak on that stage. I'm going to be in that picture, right? And then I'm going to give them something to attract them. That's my attraction process. Now, when they attract them to me, what am I going to do to them? What should you do to them? You should have an activation point. All right, that's the opportunity to buy something. All right, so if you're going to make money, the thing I talked about today is the 5 necessary things to sell anything, any product, any service. The 5 necessary things to sell any product, any service. You got to have people to sell it to, a way for them to find you, a way for them to identify themselves as a prospect, and an activation point. Now, you may say, what is AD? Hey, Lee, I don't understand this part. Good question. AD is actually asset delivery. Okay? Now, you're not going to believe this. You are not going to believe this, but it's absolutely true. There are some people that say, hey, I want to use online to make some money. Or I'm actually in business, and when I ask them, what's their AD? What's their asset delivery? They're like, well, I'm going to kind of do this kind of coaching type thing. And I'm like, what? That's not how it works. Let me tell you how it works. Your asset delivery is your, these are your deliverables, right? This is your program. All right, this is your program. So, hey, if you are selling coaching, etc., your asset delivery could be, hey, for the next 5 weeks, we are speaking on the phone. Okay? For the next X amount of days, we're going to do this. Hey, I think I see Wayne McFarland. What's up, Wayne? So, asset delivery for a limo company would be, my asset delivery is I come pick you up. Right? I come pick you up. These are the five necessary things you have to have. I'm going to go over them one more time, and then we're going to wrap this up. The 5 necessary things you have to sell, you have to have in order to make money and sell a product or service. You have to, good to see you. You have to know who you're selling to, so you have to have an audience identity, who they are, where they are. You must have an authority platform, okay? I recommend that one authority platform be email. Everybody on here has checked their email, if not today, probably this week. Email is really the currency of the internet. You don't have a Facebook account if you don't have an email address. I'm just saying. So one of your authority platforms needs to be email, and the other is where your genius is, okay? And third, you have to have a delivery. Like when a person buys something, they should get something, right? So one of my deliveries is a website, right? So I will deliver the website. Others' delivery are hair products or a service, a pressure washing service, etc. So you must be able to identify your asset delivery. The last one, or the attraction process. So if a person is interested in my program, there's probably one step that I can use to help them identify, help them reach out to me and categorize themselves as a prospect. And then the last part is the activation point. How will I convert my prospects into buyers? So these are the 5 A's of the Money Matrix. If you have them in place, you are able to market and sell your product online. I'm going to link to, probably in the description, I'll go back and fix it. I'm going to give you the opportunity to link and download a sheet. And on the sheet, you'll be able to write out who your audience is, your authority platform, your asset delivery, your attraction process, and what will be your activation point. And this is how you create a product, or this is how you sell any product or service. You got to have all 5 of those. Are there any questions for me? Well, I thank you for your time, and I'll make sure this is out on Facebook, and you can study it anytime. All right, talk to you soon. See you later, Faye. All right, bye.